Welcome to the Life with Arellanos Podcast. I'm Yayon's house.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Life with Arellanos Podcast.
In Leon's house.
Yeah, the doors of countries there have been opening. Or have actually opened already na,
And
diba?
some pa nga, hindi na kailangan ng visa yung mga Pinoy. Yarn!
This is good. Tourism is always good.
Yeah.
Looks like
And of course, I mean, being the wife of a viajero, come on, bring on the travels.
on the travels. It would be nice to talk about our experience traveling with the kids. Kasi when we travel together, kunyari wala pa tayong anak, or nagkaroon na tayo ng anak, and then we travel tayo, dalawa lang, ang dali. Napakadali.
I mean, when you look at it now, it's so much more doable. Yeah.
Pero, isipin mo, we have 4 now.
Yeah.
Pero kahit na we had Primo, 10 months, we had this crazy idea to fly to the East Coast. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Never
my
again.
goodness.
If there is one thing that I learned, it is to not travel with a toddler to a place with that kind of time difference at that age.
No.
Especially if it's just going to be like a week or
No.
two. Medyo bitin pa nga yung 2 weeks because it takes about a week to adjust with the jet lag, diba?
Hindi kami.
And the time difference.
Oo. So we got there, trying to adjust, but Primo, we had a hard time
my
talaga. We were
goodness.
like zombies for like a week.
He would wake...
But you'd still go to the shops.
Siyempre! If we're talking about outlets...
That's crazy. I was
Kaya
like, that's
ko
Thanksgiving, by the way.
Kaya ko mag-shopping.
So you have your Black Friday
sale yun eh.
sale.
Gagawin ko yan ng zombie.
Ako,
Gagawin ko
itutulog
yun
ko
ng
na lang
zombie
yan.
mode. Hindi ko kailangan ng
Bilib talaga ako?
tulog.
Ba't ganun? Ayaw ko talaga bilib na bilib ako sa mga babae. Parang, oh my, but yung tipong, I can't run a marathon. Wow, but you can shop for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Love, kasi naman, alam mo naman favorite brand ko, Lulong.
Oo nga eh. Nalulong ka sa Lululemon.
Sa Lululemon.
Grabe. Anyway.
That's why that was my dilemma actually. I was like, paano ako mag-shopping? Wala akong tulog. Sige, fight.
Fight lang.
I don't wanna miss this chance. Kasi, alam nga naman, babalik pa ako dito para sa next Black Friday sale. But yeah, that was the hardest thing because Primo, syempre hindi niya maintindihan. So if his body is telling him to wake up, he would wake up. And he would wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning. And tipong, not just like, wake up in bed, la-da-da-da-da, hindi, like, wake up wanting to play.
Wanting to play.
And like, going downstairs. And I'm like, can we just pretend that we want to sleep some more? Hindi talaga.
I'm sorry, I just remembered Primo sa age na ganun. Sobrang cute niya. Sorry, yun yung pumapasok sa isipan ko. At of course, hindi ko naman nakalimutan yung hardships na pinagdaanan natin during that like
That trip.
12 days? Is it 10 days maybe?
And we were still lucky, love, because we still had my mom pala with me at that time. So, kahit
Yes.
papaano.
We still had help.
Yeah.
We still
had an extra set of hands.
But kasi first,
helping
tayo
us out.
I mean, first time parents eh. So parang
Yeah.
kapaka pa talaga tayo noon.
Oo.
Did it get easier, Bob, nung dumating na si Leon? And then, Duday,
It became easier
saan ba tayo
because
pumunta?
Hindi.
We went to New Zealand.
it became easier because hindi na natin inulit yung States.
Yes.
Because we didn't even try. It wasn't even a thought to even try to take kids that small to the States.
Basta pag wild yung time difference. Diba?
Oo, yes,
Basta't
pag wild yung time difference, that's something you guys would have to consider.
Right.
So, yeah. Especially if it's just gonna be a short trip, wag na. Because it's gonna take a while. Kung susulitin nyo yung pag-adjust sa difference in time, then sige, gawin nyo. But if it's just gonna be for like a week or 2, or if you're not gonna be up to the challenge, basta, we're warning you. If you're not gonna be up to the challenge, then don't do it.
Don't do it.
But you can take them to other places like Japan, Australia, New Zealand. So we did New Zealand with Primo. And love,
And
What
Leon,
would you
right?
say? No. Leon, I was
You're
pregnant with Leon.
pregnant.
I was pregnant
You're
with Leon.
always pregnant.
I was pregnant with Leon. But love,
Mm.
how would you say your trip planning changed when Primo was part of the equation na? Kasi, syempre, nung wala pa si Primo, we
Easy.
would stay anywhere.
Easy.
Kasi it was so easy.
But now, I think, okay,
Now, love, but syempre when we did that New Zealand trip and Primo was small, what were the things that you had to consider?
syempre, New Zealand kasi it's a destination and it's an adventure destination. Ang dami natin pwedeng gawin doon na ma-enjoy nating lahat. I mean, we can utilize our bodies, do some hikes, jump from a plane.
Yes, love. The hikes, we can. But when it was just you and I, but not
Yes,
when Primo
correct.
was with
That's
us.
why. That's why. Medyo na-limit nga. Yun yung point ko. Parang, although meron tayong mga kasama, syempre hindi naman natin iiwanin yung anak natin. Although we still enjoyed the place because it was such a beautiful place.
And thank God for places like New Zealand that have a lot of playgrounds.
Oo, very
and parks.
kid-friendly. Oo.
Yes,
And-
yes.
and
But I don't think it was something that we paid much attention to at the time,
Mm-hmm.
Or was it? Was it a priority of yours to look for a place na may playground, or did there just happen to be a playground?
I'm sure we kind of did our research. Imposibleng hindi. But it would also be a possibility na, uy, may playground dito. Ang galing. Alam mo yan? So, being like Australia and New Zealand, they have a lot of parks.
Yeah.
It's just family-friendly type of destination. So, parang, it was such a great choice for us to go to. And it was our second time already. Diba? We went there without kids.
Actually, I think, love, what happened was Primo was still actually pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
So, honestly, I don't think we really considered things that would entertain him because at the time, he wasn't someone that we needed to entertain. He just needed to be with us.
Mm-hmm.
He was still small, love eh.
Right.
From what I remember, he wasn't even really interested in parks yet at that age.
Was he like a year and...
He was just like, probably just a little over 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? But when he reached the age that we brought him ito recently to Australia, which was what?
5 years old.
Yeah, probably around 5.
Yeah,
Or even early, in 2019, how old was he? 3 years old.
3 years old.
3 years old, medyo yun na yung...
Hey, I can go to the park and
Yes.
climb some whatever and then
Yes.
do the slides and play with water
Oh,
and whatever.
because I think we needed, Primo was the one that helped us manage our expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, we have a kid. Yes, this is the child of Ia and Drew Arellanos, who are both fitness buffs and love to move and live active lives. So dapat yung anak din nila dapat active din.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, no matter how much we would try to also make Primo, active in doing things, they're small pa. And it was through Primo that we realized, okay, so kapag ganitong edad, even if we wanted him to be able to do these things, the truth is, hindi pa niya kaya.
Right.
So parang that's what we had to come to terms with.
Mm-hmm.
In accepting that, okay, we really have to take we have to consider his age and mga age appropriate activities for him so that he can actually enjoy
And
the things that we make him do.
it's funny. It is part of the discussion whenever we plan our trips. Teka, pupunta tayo dito. May enjoy ba neto ng batang ito dun sa lugar na yon? Kasi, and I totally remember, and one of the reasons why we had the first ever celebration or party ng anak natin, kinumbay na natin
Si
Primo and Leon. Because sa totoo lang, kapag 1-year-old sila or 2 years old, 1-year-old more than, di ba? 1 year, parang hindi pa nila mag-grasp.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
It's
really
more for the
care,
grown-ups,
actually, yeah.
di ba? It's more for the grown-ups, and then we thought na parang isabay na natin. Of course, both are August celebrants. Sabay na natin dahil si Primo was
3.
Primo 3?
Yeah.
Oh, Primo was 3 na, and then Leon was 1.
Yeah.
And
also because they have the same set of ninongs and ninangs.
correct. But going back to traveling nga. I'm sure a lot of people would want to, lalo na for the first timers, I'm sure they would want to know how
we plan things.
We not just plan things, but kasi isipin mo the hassle of checking in with the luggages. Ano na ba ngayon? You know, like I think iba yung usapang pre-pandemic, iba yung usapang now. Of course, medyo okay na yung hindi na ganoon ka-stricto, 'di ba? But how was our experience flying to Boracay? Kasi we're talking about flying na kahit na local or kahit na domestic. It was carrying 3 kids na.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, with the 4th in my belly.
With the 4th in your belly.
So that's also something to consider because since I was very much pregnant at the time, medyo limited din yung mga kaya kong gawin. Alam ko, sobrang bilib na bilib ka sa akin at sa kakayahan ko.
Okay.
But the truth is when you've reached a certain term in your pregnancy where you're really pregnant, things do get hard. And you can't just easily be carrying around 3 kids around at the same time.
Bakit mo kasi ayaw magpatulong?
Hindi. Gusto ko rin naman. Pero because
Sorry, pinag-usapan namin ito kahapon kasi,
because
di ba magpatulong ka na? Say yes. Yes to help. Yes to help.
I say yes to help
Yes
now.
to help na ba? Okay.
Yes, I say yes to help
Okay.
now. Hindi. Because love, if you're busy doing something, and I have no choice but, and love, a lot of other families out there don't have the luxury of having added help.
Right.
So we don't want to consider that. I had added help.
Right.
But imagine if I didn't have the added help and then we were to fly like that. Ang hirap lang.
Mahirap talaga. Sobra.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, you know, we still had it pretty easy when we flew to Boracay because we had... Well,
we
it
had
was,
extra
it,
sets of...
It was a family trip, which is why we were lucky that we had an extra set. We had extra sets of hands.
Correct.
Because it was a family trip, including our household help. Because they are family. When I say family, like... the whole family because they are our family.
Team A is pretty much everyone who lives here. Yeah.
So, it was exciting because it was the first trip as a family, love. And the first time that Alana was gonna be on a plane. The first time to see all 3 of them on a plane.
Yeah, but before that nga, kasi iisipin ng mga tao, man, yung pila ng magche-check-in ka. I guess it was good that una we had Lola, senior citizen, and you were pregnant.
Well, first of all,
kids.
you don't want to let that what do you call it? You don't want to let that fill you up with fear. You don't want to let that hinder you. What, are you not going to book your tickets because you're thinking about the line at the airport?
Of course not.
No,
No. We're just trying to let them know kung ano yung na-experience mo nga or yung na-experience natin.
It was, of course it's a little stressful because of course you have to wait in line patiently. Hindi ka naman pwede magpaka-importante dyan, di ba? Although, because I was pregnant, I was priority.
Okay, there you go.
So, traveling while pregnant is...
and bring a senior citizen.
It's a benefit. It's a benefit that you can enjoy.
Absolutely.
When you're pregnant or when you're with a senior citizen.
Yes.
So always bring the lola or lolo.
Malaking bagay yan. A very fit one. who can carry bags also.
But
user no.
but
Lolo, sama kayo sa akin. Teka, kumusta yung blood results? Lolo, can you do how many reps of this?
How many pull-ups can you do?
How many pull-ups can you do?
No, but it was a little stressful, but it's funny because if we're talking about people who are stressful, I was with my mother, and she is the ultimate stress head. So when I'm with someone that's as stressful as mom, I really have to learn how to not allow myself to be stressed. hindi ako pwede magpadala.
So, pwede mong meron,
Sa stress.
pwede kang pwede mo siyang
Meron
i-filter ng
akong
konti.
filter. So, kasi siya na yung taga-stress eh. So, there was no room for me to stress.
Tama.
It is something that you would normally stress about kasi you're in a line. The kids, of course, don't understand, how to just wait there. Or actually, because it was their first time to fly, of course they don't understand what to do, and that patience is part of it. Of course, the more you travel, the more they understand, the easier they become.
So, just keep on doing it.
Yeah, so just keep on doing it.
Try.
Face the challenges early.
Right.
So that they learn early too.
Correct.
So,
And it's cute because when they're together na rin, and then they experience these challenges, these trials together also.
yeah.
And then when they grow up, kahit pa paano, I feel that it's gonna become like a team effort type of thing.
Oh, and whatever chance you have, even if it means just taking Primo with me. Because remember when I went before the pandemic, I took Primo lang with me to Boracay.
Yeah. When kami naman ni went to Bukidnon.
So parang that was such a great opportunity for Primo to kind of get accustomed to traveling.
Yeah.
So that way, the next time he travels, of course, siya yung magiging leader of the group.
Right.
And he can be
Paano yung leader?
leader.
Wow, okay.
And siya yung kalmado, and he can set the tone for his brother and his sister.
Tama.
Diba?
Oh, absolutely.
So,
How was the...
importante, guys.
Okay, importante.
Have a snack bag ready.
Yun.
Importante to have a snack bag ready. Snacks and drinks for the kids.
Not just to fill the belly, but also for the pressure.
Well, yes.
Diba?
That's what they say. I honestly don't know if
We're talking about the
their
pressure
when you
take
and
off.
when you land. Because I know that that's a problem for some kids.
Yes.
Thankfully, we
a lot
haven't
of people,
had.
a lot of babies cry.
Yeah.
As in a few minutes when you depart.
Because they don't understand how to decompress ba yung tawag doon?
Basta hindi nila alam. Hindi nila alam kung...
What
Syempre,
to do.
bata pa naman eh.
So apparently, yeah, if they eat, if they're chewing, or if they're drinking, that can help with that. But it's also just to keep their mouths shut so that they're not like crying.
And this is probably the best time to whip out
And you keep
the
them
gadgets.
busy.
It's probably the best time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make sure you have a battery pack.
Make sure you
It's fully
have
charged.
games na hindi kailangan ng Wi-Fi
Yes.
or ng internet connection.
Okay.
Make sure itong games na to kasi may mga free games eh.
Yeah.
Pero what I don't like about these free games, may mga ads na nagpa-pop up
yeah.
na kung minsan hindi kid-friendly.
Yeah.
As in. So, sometimes, yes, you have to pay, pero minsan masulit na eh. Kasi parang, ako yung, medyo tumataas yung alta presyon ko kapag nakikita ko yung mga ads na nagpa-pop up sa free games. Eh.
So this is something that you want to make sure you give the time to prepare when planning for a trip. Make sure that you have the gadgets ready. Make sure that they're fully charged. Make sure you have charging cables. Make sure you have an extra battery pack. And make sure that whatever game that they're allowed to play doesn't need internet. And if ever, like kunwari, I needed to download, I downloaded an app for dudes. Kind of like Cocomelon, Lulu Kids. But you need to parang pre-download it.
Right.
So that you can play it offline. So things like that. Like I would have been so annoyed with myself if I downloaded the app thinking, okay na to.
Right.
Only to discover na,
Dude,
kailan ko pala i-download yung mga
Dude, you know what happened with
videos?
Primo? We had to download Baby Shark. Remember? Baby Shark. Baby Shark, ang Baby Shark, ang Baby Shark, ang Baby Shark. Iba-ibang Baby Shark versions. And it worked naman. Yeah, at least.
So yeah, these are
Baby Shark.
These are things that you will want to consider. Now with the planning, like a hotel or Airbnb. Well, this for the most recent trip that we took to Australia, I think this was probably the most proactive that I've been in planning for our trip, because normally it's you. Normally I just leave it all up to him kasi be ahead, hello. But this time, because it was my territory, it was Australia, and it was my family, so I had a better idea of,
Hometown.
of
Teka,
not the
parang
logistics,
naging Mandarin
but
ako, naging Chinese.
why?
Parang Chinese food. Ano ba hometown? Paano hometown sa Australia?
Hometown?
Hometown?
Hometown? Anyway,
Ay.
because I had a better idea of where we needed to be, of the transpo, because of course we're traveling as a group of 6, 7, including mom. So we don't exactly fit in a car anymore.
Pati iba yung patakaran doon
So,
kailangan ng mga booster sheets.
Yeah, so I needed to. You need to consider your transpo. Are you going to be taking public transport? Are you going to be renting out a car that's going to be big enough for the whole family?
Of course, different laws yan sa different
so depende na lang yun where you're going. But in our case, we figured public transport would be the easiest because at least that way, I can just pop them in the stroller and keep them there. Kasi inis na inis ako when I have to take them out of the stroller, put them in a car seat, buckle them up.
Right.
And then unbuckle them, take them out of the car seat into the stroller rather. Whereas if I just keep them in the stroller, in places like New Zealand and Australia, where they have elevators that are always functioning, they have ramps, and they have actual paths.
Grabe, no? As in, talagang yun lang yung nakakalungkot ko minsan.
It's PWD friendly.
Yes, it's PWD
so
friendly.
if it's PWD friendly, then it's stroller friendly and it's kid friendly. So, these are things that we needed to consider with the most recent trip. Dahil nga, we had Primo, Leon, and Alana.
A 5-year-old, 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 1-year-old.
And a 1-year-old. Here's another thing. We wanted to push through with this trip because Alana was 1 pa. Ibig sabihin, libre pa siya.
Right.
Because the moment she turns 2, full price na yan.
Full price na.
Full price na, which is why we really wanted to push through with this trip. And this trip, we did not have any help, like we didn't have Ate Weng. We didn't have any of the ates with us.
I remember this trip, and it was like the most fulfilling.
But it was such a great trip,
It was
love.
a great
So when you
trip,
plan
yeah.
a trip well, it saves you from future stress.
Right.
So it really pays to plan. So
It does.
I feel that it was such a good trip because we chose hotels that were close to the train station.
Right.
And close to places where there was
parks.
No.
Oh, no.
A supermarket.
Supermarket, yes.
Importante ang supermarket because that's where you're gonna get food in the hotel. It saves you from having to buy food in the hotel that might be more expensive.
Right.
So you can just buy the basics like, of course, your water, bread, spreads, cereals,
Ito ba yung
whatnot.
ito yung first hotel na when we landed?
Yeah.
Near the airport.
And even the second one. Still had.
Yeah.
Had
Correct.
one next. So these are the things that I find are important when we travel. Think about your transpo. If you're going to go public, if you're going to use a car. A place that has a convenience store or a supermarket nearby. And of course, parks. That would be a bonus.
So proud of you.
I was also proud of myself because I'm really not one to plan these things because I always just leave it up to him. But
Good job.
But these are important things, diba? And I feel, and even like with the stroller, you don't think about how you're gonna lug the kids around. So what, are you gonna expect them to walk the whole way? Is there gonna be a lot of walking involved?
Oh, wait.
Speaking
of, was it Audrey who gave you that?
Yeah.
That like
It's like
a roller.
It's like a,
what do you call that?
A hand carry.
A hand carry with wheels, and
That's
then
got a chair.
That's got a chair. So duday. Well, actually.
It was actually meant for Leon.
But.
Or actually, it was actually meant for Primo. But my goodness,
everyone wanted to
all 3
sit
kids
there.
wanted to sit on that hand carry. Na
So
may
isipin nyo na lang
upuan.
hand carry na may rollers. Ano ba tawag dun? Hand carry na may rollers?
Na may wheels.
Na may wheels, di ba? You know, I mean, yung hindi mo i-check-in.
Yeah.
So, dala-dala mo yan. Pero may upuan.
Yeah.
Yan, para lang ma-visualize nila. And I think available naman na yata
Yeah, it's
siya
available. It's available.
Locally.
On Momzilla, actually. That's where I
There,
got it.
Momzilla.
But yeah, I can actually show you guys a picture. But
That kind of helped also,
it,
right?
it absolutely helped.
Yeah.
In fact, the next time we travel, I'm probably just going to get 3 of those things.
Right.
Because at least
Or naka-roller skates na lang sila tapos may tali tapos nan hatakin mo na lang sila.
No, but yeah, see, this is something that you want to take into consideration because could you imagine the stress if your children aren't prepared to walk far and you are not ready to have to carry all 3 of them?
Correct.
Or maybe 2 or imagine kung tig-dalawa tayong bata. Imagine, that would be so stressful. So think about the airport. Think
Right.
about whether you need to have a stroller with you so that think about whether that stroller is going to be able to carry all 3 kids or all of the kids.
So,
Ganun eh.
okay. So, be fit so that you can actually lug your kids around
No matter...
or don't have kids. Okay, yun na yan. Thanks.
Grabe naman yun. Hindi, but yeah, like it was these little things kasi minsan
Malaking bagay.
hindi mo alam, lalo na if it's your first time to go to an airport, hindi mo alam na ang layo pa pala ng gate dun sa pagkukuhanan ng mga bag.
Right.
So, what might, from what would be the trip that you were actually looking forward to might become the start of stress levels rising.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to prevent.
But I have to say, so, you, me, 3 kids, pero malaking bagay that Lola was there. Even though Lola's a senior citizen, Lola had, an extra pair of hands.
Yeah.
As in talagang always helpful, and that's why I'm so appreciative that Lola was there also.
Yeah.
Di ba? Malaking bagay din yun si Lola.
Malaking
Grabe.
bagay. Malaking
And Lola
bagay.
would carry mga stuffed toys ng mga bata. Para
Of course, having a Lola also means having an extra set, not just an extra set of hands, but an extra brain. An extra brain to remind us of things that comfort the kids.
Tama.
So may maming taga, si Ali at si Aa ni Primo.
Galing.
Ay, yung mga tali ni Leon.
Ay, grabe.
Ay, yung gatas ni Alana. May mga ganun si Mami.
It's always like a good thing to have someone
An
there.
extra set.
An extra set.
But yeah, love, I have to say that for our first major trip with all 3 kids, I would like to think it was very successful, and I think it gave us the opportunity to
Explore, experiment, exchange, communicate, and then what? What?
It gave us the chance to really work as a team,
Totoo.
doing things that you normally wouldn't do if we were just here at home. So,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Drew and I would take turns with giving the kids a bath,
Yeah, and also like, okay,
preparing breakfast,
or I'll do a quick run,
workout.
and then you ganun. O, ikaw naman after. Parang may ganun tayo.
Parang, okay, I'm gonna wake up already. I'm gonna go out to work out. You stay in bed with the kids, and then when I come back from my workout,
Ikaw naman.
I'll give the kids a bath and I'll prepare them for when we have to leave to go somewhere, and then you can have your workout. May mga ganun tayo eh.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think it's important that you work together as a team, especially husband and wife. Communicate. Tell the other what you need the other to do.
Hindi na to hindi na uso ngayon yung ay.
Read
grabe
between the
naman.
lines.
Oh, read between the lines type of
Dapat
mentality.
alam na niya yan.
Hindi talaga. Kahit na sinabi na sa akin ni Ian na linisin ko yung office ko, eto, malinis na. Actually, nilinis ko to
Nilinis mo to.
I have to say, it took me
Nilinis mo
10
to.
minutes, but hey,
Ba't nilinis mo to?
that's why studio natin siya ngayon. Okay, sorry. This is the second ep that we're shooting here inside the office. By the way, because ginagawa yung CR
Banyo namin.
right beside our
Kung
makeshift
gusto
studio.
niyo makarinig ng mga tok-tok-tok.
Oo.
Oo.
Yeah, so
That was our international flight.
right. Now there's this pressure now brewing sa loob ko dahil parang I feel as a viajero I need to give suggestions destination suggestions na okay for
kid-friendly.
okay for kids. Ano nga ba? You can start with
You can start with camps.
of course, I'm always going to be biased. We're very near we live in Pasig, Ortigas Center specifically, and our backyard is Tanay,
The East.
the East. Rizal Province is so rich in so many stuff. Mga ilog, mga trails, mountain, may falls, campsites, magsasawa kayo at malapit lang, mura. Alam mo 'yun, parang wala ka nang hahanapin pa, but if ever you wanna, have like a longer ride, I don't know.
Bataan.
Bataan kasi we go to a place wherein it's an
No,
old.
but I mean, that doesn't. I'm sure there are other places to go to there, not just.
Yes, like sorry, we're kind of biased with Bataan because there's a place that
We like to visit.
we like to visit all the time because even though it's an old place, it's a very comfortable place,
Family-friendly
place. We're talking about Montemar.
Yeah.
But
Share ko na rin. I love going there because they have a kiddie pool.
not an ad, by the way.
It's not an ad, but the reason why I love the place so much is because the rooms are very close to where the people eat. It's close to the swimming pool. There's a green patch right in
Yun.
front where the kids can just run around and chase each other.
So there's a grass, and at the same time,
Then there's also the
yun yung
beach.
beach. So parang people can have picnics and whatnot, and it's just right in front of the restaurant. So wala lang. It's just so.
It's just easy. It's easy even if you don't have an extra set of hands.
Right.
Because it's easy for you if you can see the kids. Then for me, it just makes it much easier.
And sa beach, you don't really need like a playground because the beach is actually the playground. Diba?
And then there are like little rock pools by there, so kids love to look at the little hermit crabs or the sea. Parang they look like snails.
Okay. Sea snails.
Are
ba
they
yun?
sea snails?
Mhm.
Minsan nga, like they can see actual crabs in those little rock pools. So yeah, that's why I love going to Montemar. So if you guys are looking for a place in Bataan that's super kid friendly and easy for parents to handle kids there, that's one place that you guys can go to.
Ano ba? Ayoko naman, I don't want to just, like, ang dami. That's my problem. That's why I need
DB
DB.
to remind you of the
Because I
places.
just totally, forget the places, the beautiful places that we featured. Na kid-friendly. Ano nga ba, DB? Para naman ma-include ko na.
I love what was the one that you went to that had like the rabbits and stuff.
That, was it in Cavite? Alfonso Cavite, yes. Was that? Which I found out that it's owned by a friend.
Okay.
Nakakatawa. Sabi niya, oh, you featured my place pala. What place? You guys stayed over with your wife and kids. What? Uncle, that place is so awesome. It's called Preciosa. Preciosa in Alfonso Cavite. Dude, I gotta say, we were pretty impressed because may feeding ng goats nga ba?
Yeah, they have goats. And then there's even gardening that they can do with the kids.
Ang ganda talaga ng
You
lugar.
can fly kites. They have bikes and whatever other things on wheels that you can use.
It's like it's just like very spacious. Yun yung parang if there's one adjective na parang it's just really.
There was another place you went to recently.
Oh.
Before you left that had a lot of rabbits.
Oh,
You even sent a video.
Was it in
to-
Davao? No, in Bohol.
Yeah.
Oh my
love.
goodness.
How can you forget?
Because I always forget. Mahirap na yung data bank ko, love. It's spilling. Okay. Anyway, so the place. Oh my God. I think I told mom about this because it was probably the best agri farm that we featured.
That's the one.
They had like fishing, ang lalaki ng mga tilapia, and then right beside it, right in front of it, was like a griller. It's called South Farm in Panglao. There, South Farm in Panglao. Not an ad, but I truly appreciated my stay there. What we featured was like quality because pretty much like any age, mga bata mo kahit na 1-year-old to whatever teens, may enjoy nila feeding the rabbits, riding the horse, feeding the goats. And the goat was not small. It wasn't a kakapirang goat. It was a really big goat, as in it's a huge goat.
Okay.
Anyway, yun nga, the restaurants, and then for nakakatawa nga because they had a cafe, and then I was gonna pee, and then I saw the cafe high up, di ba? Parang ang daming options. And then you see the ref. May mga different types of beer. So sabi ko, naisip talaga nila to na hindi lang for kids.
They got you.
They got me there.
They got you with the
really,
beer.
They really got me there. But anyway, these are just some of the suggestions. Please try and Google them. We assure you it is way up there in terms of ratings. Kasi personally, na-experience na namin yon. The best family trip will be the next one.
Nax.
Boom.
Nax.
Diba?
No, but really.
Hmm.
But are you ready?
No. Really.
Are you ready
I'm saying this because, and I'm owning it, because the next family trip will be the next one. Why? Because sobrang natutuwa ako sa age nila ngayon.
The best family trip will be the next one.
Yeah, the best.
Sabi mo kasi the next family trip will be the next one.
Oh, sorry. The best family trip will be the next one. See, I forgot about what I said already. But anyway, the best family trip will be the next one because I know we're gonna have such a grand time. Sobrang panalo yung chemistry ng mga tao. Feeling ko, kahit pa paano, okay na yung teamwork natin. Boom. And at the same time, see, I forgot already the third one. Oh!
I love
forgetting.
Actually, I think the best family trip that we had was the one that we
had.
recently had in Australia.
Okay.
For me.
For you.
So far, out of all the ones that we've had, I think that has been the best one that we've had.
We were very efficient. We
really worked together. Though.
We're super.
We really worked together.
Hindi naman to the point
Even if there were 3 kids, even if our plates were full, our hands were full, we made it work, and we made it work with smiles still on our faces.
Hindi. Remember, when we were flying back to the Philippines, we were like fist bumping. Good job, man.
Yeah.
Good job. We're like, good job.
Diba?
Good job. So,
and what I'm looking forward to, love,
Mhm.
is a Disney trip.
You know what? Not just a Disney trip.
What?
Actually, tama ka. Sorry. A Disney trip?
Ito yung mga nasa ano pa
sorry,
namin.
Nasa
bucket list pa
bucket
namin.
list naman to. Mag-iipon muna kami. And
Kasi mahal ng mga tickets.
a Disney cruise ship.
Yes,
I heard.
that's what I want to do.
Crazy yon. Crazy expensive yon. So talagang
So todo ipon muna tayo.
ipon muna tayo. But
Yeah.
I think, these trips are it's going to be etched in their minds, and it will be so valuable and so priceless na it will just overshadow the best toy that you will or an expensive toy that you will give to your kid,
Or even
and the memories
or even the hardships that you go through as you go on these trips
together.
Love. Okay,
I love you.
We want to share with
I
love you too.
Okay, sorry.
No, I want to share with you guys why Drew and I are so we're so passionate about being able to travel with the kids, because every time we come back from a trip,
We're pregnant. No?
every time we come back,
sorry.
every time we come back from a trip, hindi ba, love, napapansin natin na parang
Nagiging,
there's something about them that
oh my God, yeah.
you see how they mature over that short span that
You do.
they were
You do.
on this trip.
And that's why
And it's amazing. It's really amazing na parang, but parang,
traveling is the best education.
yes.
Boom. Okay, I'm dropping the mic right now. Traveling is the best education. It was a pen, by the way.
But yeah, that's the reason why we're so passionate about being able to take the kids places. It doesn't even have to be a flight out.
You know,
What,
narinig
any
ko yung
trip.
comments ko.
Any
Nababasa ko mga ibang comments. Sasabihin nila, kasi may budget yung mga yan. No. Kahit na pumunta kayo like sinasabi mo, kahit na pumunta ka sa supermarket, kahit pumunta ka sa ganyan, and then you're with them, it's a learning experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like yung a long biyahe.
No.
No. Everything is a learning experience.
Biyahe
for them.
papuntang supermarket. Biyahe
Yes.
papuntang wherever.
Really, yun. And I'm so happy to actually realize that we are in a position wherein sobrang okay yung teamwork natin. Kasi kung
And we
hindi,
value the same things, love.
yes, we value the same thing. And if we don't have this now, hindi magkakaroon ng strong foundation tong household na to. And I think that's very, very important.
I agree, love.
So anyway, we just want to take this opportunity to announce
That we will
we
end
have
this with a momol.
Oh, wait lang. I'm just gonna cover the. And that's, sir, how we make babies. Plus
Nawag.
fun.
Kasi if
No,
we
we're
add
good.
another baby, love, hindi na
Hindi, okay
kakayanin
na.
ng budget
Hindi,
natin.
okay na tayo.
Palayo yung pangarap natin na makabiyahe. Tayo
Okay
lang
na.
eh.
Yeah, okay na
Okay?
tayo. By the way, okay.
OT na tayo, OT.
OT na naman tayo.
OT tayo.
OT na naman tayo. Iba kasi talaga kapag pinag-uusapan natin yung mga kids natin because we're just so hyper and we're so passionate and happy, and we just want to share, really. We just really want to share what we've been experiencing. It's just so awesome. Life is just awesome and crazy at the same time with these kids, I
And
swear.
whatever we can share with you guys, we will happily share.
Absolutely.
And with that, goodbye. Yun lang. Momol.
Mama, I love you.
Thanks, guys. Until the next. Love you.
Welcome to